Hello, this is Kay Vaughn, author, writer, lyricist, putting a face to the words here on Scriggler. This is going to be Deerplain Donna, the puppy, number 10. 10. She was in a cage on all fours while lapping cold milk from a heavy dog bowl. The bowl was made of a dense wood which held firmly to the floor of her padded cage. The pup wore a studded dog collar around her neck. On her hands were knitted mittens. Her feet were covered in thick winter socks which covered her ankles. Her footwear had been printed to simulate dog paws. There were toes evident on the top. The soles of her socks had a familiar canine padding design. On her knees were knee pads with fur lining and a fluffy synthetic fur outer layer. She ignored me as I approached. I tapped on the cage in order to get her attention. She looked up at me and began to pant, as would a canine animal. Her prominent and sagging tongue dimpled at the epicenter. I gazed into her eye contact and searched for any signs of humanity. My thoughts on the matter were subsequently inconclusive. She was wearing a smile. She yelped a bark. The human pup then chased her tail for the duration of 2 rotations. She stopped her circling to look up into my direction. I knelt outside the cage and asked, "Can you speak English for a minute?" I wanted to communicate efficiently with her. The pup simply responded, "Ruff." Her eyes remained the same as before. I asked again, "Can we speak English before we start this woo-woo?" She responded, "Ruff, ruff." In this moment, I realized I was going to have to learn the hard way what to do and what not to do. My frustration subsided as I gave her my survey. I looked into her eyes and admitted out loud, "You are the Donna." Her thin body was proportionately feminine. She lacked self-awareness. I thought to myself, this woman is a beautiful creature. She wagged her butt back and forth and again with excitement. The pup then gently nudged her head on the door of the cage as she panted. She stared at the padlock which held her as a captive. I wondered about her behavior until recognition made itself aware. How many people are collared in this situation? I asked myself. I removed the lanyard which held the key to her cage and I dangled it from my fist with the latch key at eye level. And then I unlocked the gate to her confines. And then I opened the door. I wanted to touch her parted hair, but I hesitated. Instead, I tried to read the dog tag which was hanging from her neck. She turned away from me to scurry into the bathroom, then she loudly kicked the door shut. With intrigue, I listened as the sound of urine sprinkling into the toilet water confirmed my suspicion that she was merely playing a role. I considered a risk, and then I decided to rush into the bathroom. I opened the door to find her straddling the toilet with her face to the wall. She turned her head toward me and guiltily as the final drops of piss descended into the bowl. The overgrown pup leaped from her position and landed hardly onto the floor on her hands and knees. That explains the knee pads, I thought to myself. This pup's collar had handling space. There was enough slack in there for me to slip my 4 fingers at the base of her neck and get a firm hold. She yelped again and grazed my knee with a harmless bite. I awkwardly walked her back to the cage where I had placed the padlock. I grabbed it and looped it through her leash ring. At the far end of the room, away from the entrance area of the hotel suite, there was a long length of chain which had been attached to a dresser drawer with handcuffs. She whimpered as I dragged her to this coil of metallic links. And after several long moments of struggling with the pup, I successfully locked her to her tether. When I finally clinked the padlock shut, she smiled and yelped at me with a playful bias. Her butt wagged back and forth as she scampered into the living room. I lifted my pant leg to check for a bite mark and thought, metal kink, pet play, my resume's getting janky. All right, thanks for reading. Thanks for giving me a listen. Enjoy. 11's coming soon.